Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you love superheroes and epic stories, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the world of legacy, those moments when someone else steps up to carry the mantle of a legendary hero. You won't believe some of the names who have replaced our favorite icons. Before we jump in, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite hero replacement, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. Jean-Paul Valley, Azrael, as Batman. During the Nightfall saga, Bruce Wayne faced one of his darkest moments, his back broken by Bane and his body out of commission. Needing a replacement, he had to choose between two very different candidates. The reliable and experienced Dick Grayson, or the unstable and brainwashed assassin Jean-Paul Valley, also known as Azrael. And, in true Batman fashion, he made the worst choice possible. Jean-Paul Valley, a deadly agent of the Secret Order of St. Dumas, took on the role of Batman with a brutal new edge. Sporting one of the ugliest batsuits ever designed, he became an ultra-violent vigilante who had no intention of giving up the mantle. When Bruce returned, Jean-Paul refused to step down, leading to a final showdown. Defeated, he disappeared into comic book limbo for years. Flash Thompson as Venom. Throughout Marvel history, the Venom symbiote has changed hosts multiple times. It started as Spider-Man's living suit, but once Peter Parker discovered its alien nature, he rejected it. The symbiote then bonded with Eddie Brock, giving rise to the iconic Venom we know today. Over time, it also passed through Matt Gargan, making the character even more savage and bloodthirsty. Eventually, the symbiote found a new host in Flash Thompson, Peter Parker's former classmate and war veteran. After losing both legs in the Iraq War, Flash joined a government program that bonded him with the symbiote to serve as a super soldier. His new suit blended Spider-Man inspiration with tactical military design. Constantly fighting for control, Flash aimed to use Venom as a force for good without losing himself in the process. Miles Morales as Spider-Man. After Peter Parker's death in the Ultimate Universe, it was revealed that another teen had also been bitten by a genetically altered Spider Miles Morales. At first, he kept his powers hidden, but Peter's funeral taught him two vital lessons. With great power comes great responsibility, and the world still needs a Spider-Man. Inspired, Miles took on the mantle and became the new web-slinger of New York City. However, stepping into Peter's shadow wasn't easy. Miles faced not only criminals, but also public doubt and prejudice from those who saw him as an unworthy successor. Unlike Peter, Miles had to constantly ask himself, what would Peter Parker do? Proving his worth to both the city and himself. He gradually earned his place as a true Spider-Man, just as brave, just as capable. James Rhodes as Iron Man. During one of Tony Stark's darkest periods, struggling with alcoholism and even losing his company, it was his loyal friend James "Rhodey" Rhodes who stepped up. More than just offering support, Rhodey actually took on the mantle of Iron Man while Tony recovered. He even joined the Avengers and fought in the Secret Wars, all while no one knew it wasn't Stark in a suit. Over time, however, Rhodey's behavior grew increasingly aggressive and unstable. This change was later revealed to be a side effect of prolonged use of the Iron Man armor, which had a neural interface designed specifically for Tony. Despite the challenges, Rhodey's time as Iron Man proved his dedication and bravery long before he officially became War Machine. Harry Osborn as Green Goblin. Harry Osborn was always a troubled soul neglected by his father, battling drug abuse, and known for his unstable personality. After witnessing the death of Norman Osborn during a deadly battle with Spider-Man, Harry snapped. Driven by a desire for revenge and consumed by madness, he became the second Green Goblin, turning Peter Parker's life into chaos. Unlike other villains, Harry wasn't just another criminal, he was Peter's best friend, lost to insanity. Though he had moments of recovery through therapy and even started a family, he often relapsed, returning as a threat to Spider-Man. While he never reached the iconic status of Norman, Harry carved his place in Spidey's rogues gallery. Somewhere, even Norman might have been proud. Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern. After Hal Jordan was corrupted by Parallax and wiped out the Green Lantern Corps. The universe was left without its protectors. In the aftermath, Ganthet, the last surviving Guardian, chose a new bearer for the final power ring, Kyle Rayner, a struggling freelance artist just trying to make ends meet. There was no grand prophecy or trial. Kyle simply happened to be in the right place at the right time. Though often criticized for not being chosen by the ring itself, Kyle proved his worth time and time again. He played a key role in Justice League battles, helped rebuild the Corps, hosted the powerful Ion entity, and even mastered the entire emotional spectrum to become a White Lantern. He may not be as legendary as Hal or as fierce as Guy, but Kyle is easily one of the most dedicated and hardworking Lanterns ever. Wally West is Flash. Some fans might argue that Wally West doesn't belong on this list because to them, he is the definitive Flash. And they're not wrong. Wally didn't just take over the mantle. He exceeded expectations, becoming the Flash for an entire generation. Still, by definition, he started out as a replacement for Barry Allen, making him one of the greatest legacy heroes in comics. Wally gained his powers in a similar accident to Barry's and originally served as Kid Flash, fighting crime alongside his uncle and with the Teen Titans. After Barry's heroic death in Crisis on Infinite Earths, Wally stepped up as the new Flash and became the heart of the DC universe. He starred in iconic animated shows and inspired countless readers. Even after DC's reboot sidelined him, Wally made a comeback, this time reimagined as a black teenager in the modern era. Ben Reilly is Spider-Man. Loved by some and hated by others, Ben Reilly is the infamous clone of Peter Parker who took on the mantle of Spider-Man during the controversial Clone Saga of the 1990s. At the time, Mary Jane was pregnant, Peter's powers were fading, and Marvel needed a fresh take on the wall crawler. Enter Ben, a clone who once believed he was the Real Peter, only to learn the painful truth that he wasn't. After 5 years in exile, Ben returned more hardened and experienced. Unlike Peter, he was more direct in battle, less hesitant, and his humor wasn't to mask fear, it was a tool to throw enemies off. He brought new innovations like stinger darts and impact webbing. In many ways, Ben was a seasoned version of Spider-Man 1, shaped by hardship and ready to take the fight head-on. Bucky Barnes as Captain America. Bucky Barnes, once the brainwashed Winter Soldier, was trained by the Soviets and hardened by countless covert missions. Unlike Steve Rogers, who spent decades frozen in ice, Bucky remained in the field, gaining real-world experience across the globe. So when Steve was believed to be dead, it made perfect sense for Bucky to carry the shield in his place. As Captain America, Bucky brought a new edge to the role. He wasn't just a symbol, he was a soldier shaped by loss, grit, and war. Many fans believe he was even more suited to the modern world than Steve, showing a darker, more decisive side of the iconic hero. Bucky's cap was the one the world needed in a time of uncertainty. Dick Grayson as Batman. Now this felt right. With Bruce Wayne out of the picture, Dick Grayson finally stepped into the role he was always destined for. As the first Robin, Dick had years of crime-fighting experience under his belt, plus natural agility from his acrobatic background, making him faster and more graceful than Bruce in combat. But what really set him apart was his personality. Dick brought heart, charisma, and leadership qualities Bruce often lacked. He wasn't a brooding loner. He was a Batman who could connect with others and even smile. That's why many fans welcome his time as the Dark Knight, with some even saying, and I agree, that he was a better Batman than Bruce Wayne. A Batman the city could truly look up to. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps us going and helps bring more hero content your way. See you in the next one.